Hi, everyone. Welcome to another LTX Studio webinar. I'm Malaysia Brown, Community Manager at LTX Studio, and we are super excited to be joined by you all today. I see people flooding in, and I'm very excited about that. We have Josh and Ann from the team, and they have a lot to share with y'all. So again, if you're just joining, I'm Malaysia Brown, LTX Studio Community Manager, and we are super excited to have you all. Josh, how you feeling today?
Lovely. Trying to work through. Not there we go. A little bit of the echo. We're doing great. It's Thursday and sprinting into the end of Q1. A crazy start to the year. I feel like we've already lived an entire 2026, but that is just the world of Gen AI rapidly evolving. It's like dog years.
This is very, very, very true. I saw another handful of people just joined. If you are here to attend From Brief to Build an LTX Studio webinar, you are in the right place. I'm Alicia Brown, Community Manager at LTX Studio, and I'm here with Josh, Ann, and Maddie. We're super excited to share so many cool things with y'all. So I'll give it one more minute, just let people join in, and then we'll get started. Ann, how are you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm excited for this webinar and have sitting here next to Josh. We're
Yes.
trying to mute and unmute ourselves whenever somebody's talking.
Well, y'all are doing an excellent job of it already. So we will keep those vibes going. Give it a couple of more seconds just to let people in. And I will go ahead and get started so that I respect everyone's time who got here on time. So, like I've said already 1,000 times, hi everyone, welcome. We're so happy to have you here. I'm Alicia Brown, Community Manager at LTX Studio, and I'm so excited to welcome you to From Brief to Build. Today's session builds on our new creative workflow ebook and is designed to answer a very practical question. What actually changes when teams rethink how video gets made? Over the past year, we've had hundreds of conversations with creative teams, agencies, and brands. And across the board, we kept hearing the same challenges. More tools are being added to the stack, but output is not increasing in the way teams expected. Teams are constantly switching between platforms, leading to context loss, misalignment, expensive rework, resulting in 5 to 7 rounds of revisions on average. The traditional video production process is powerful, but it's also lengthy and expensive. It requires multiple teams, multiple tools, and multiple feedback loops. And what we often see is that the initial concept that was approved at the beginning of the project doesn't fully make it to the final render. With every export and every handoff, a little bit of the original video gets lost. When that happens, budgets stretch, timelines slip, and internal resources get diverted toward rework instead of iteration. Depending on where those changes occur, revisions can become significantly more expensive than originally planned. So today, we're here to explore a different way of working. This session focuses on how modern teams are moving from brief to build in a more streamlined way. Not just what LTX Studio can do, but how teams are actually applying it in their real workflows to reduce friction, move faster, and scale without adding additional headcount or budget. You'll hear about why more tools do not automatically equal more output, what actually moves the needle when it comes to alignment and iteration, and how reducing context switching can dramatically improve creative momentum. To walk us through this, I'm excited to introduce Ann Streichman, LTX Studio CSM, and Josh Pasternak, Senior Account Executive. Ann works closely with our customers and sees firsthand how teams are implementing LTX Studio in their day-to-day production processes. Josh brings deep experience from working directly with clients on pilots and workflow transformation. Together, they really are a dynamic duo. They'll walk through a real example, break down how it was created, and show how this new production workflow can help teams create faster, iterate more efficiently, and keep creative vision intact from concept through delivery. You'll see a real end-to-end project, understand where LTX Studio fits into the process, and leave with a clear sense of how your own team might rethink the path from brief to final build. We'll also leave time at the end for Q&A, so feel free to drop questions into the chat as we go, but just know that we won't be answering them until the very end unless we can kind of sneak something in there. And with that, I will stop talking. I've talked enough. I'll hand it over to Ann and Josh to get us started.
Alicia, thank you so much. That was great. I feel like I don't have to say anything, but I will, because that's what I do for a living. I talk far too much, but this stuff is exciting. As Alicia said, my name is Josh Pasternak. I'm a senior account executive. That just means I've been working with a lot of our enterprise brands, marketing teams, creative teams, agencies as well. And obviously, there's a lot of folks I'm sure from our community. I think our Discord community is up to 60,000 plus folks at this point. So, been working in this creative space for a long time, selling a lot of creative technology for about a decade, specifically for the last 8 or so years of that experience, really focusing on like a lot of media companies. What's been really wild, I kind of alluded to it if you were here at the start, is just how rapidly everything is evolving. LTX Studio is the platform we're going to be looking at today. And what we're really trying to do is make this a little bit more familiar. I know AI and Gen AI, depending on where you're at on that adoption curve, can feel really scary to a lot of folks. But for us over here and the people I think who have been working in the creative space for a long time, I think it's actually pretty akin to other seismic shifts we've seen in spaces. If we think about when like Da Vinci came out, or when Photoshop comes out and rapidly just changes the world of graphic design, we look at LTX Studio and LTX2, our video model that's in the platform, not as like ways to eliminate human creativity. That's the reason Anne is doing this demo and not me, because I'm not the creative. We're looking at it as a tool to democratize that process of being a creative. Consistently, we hear a few things when I'm on meetings with different agencies or brands throughout the week, right? And they a lot of times talk about being frustrated on their creative vision, being kind of lost with just infinite back and forth, like Alasia was alluding to. So when we say we want to use AI to reduce turnaround times and reduce friction, we ultimately know that that's going to, reduce frustration and improve the output, the end creative. So that's when we think about it being a really powerful tool. A constant refrain I hear too is this feeling of I got to do more with less, whether that's because teams or budgets are shrinking. Deliverables seemingly don't shrink in proportion with it. Oftentimes, I feel like your deliverables, if you're a marketer, go up, right? As opposed to matching that. So there's this pressure of I got to deliver more. How can we use AI to operate efficiently to maybe reduce some of that stress? And we also know, like, it's here. AI is here. It's the revolution, or if it feels familiar, whatever that is, right? But folks can sometimes feel paralyzed, right? Trying to find the right tool that feels intuitive and matches a video production workflow in that pipeline. And hopefully that's something that you're going to see in here. We really strive to make our platform really intuitive and our video model extremely efficient. Ultimately, if we're going to get to this point of leveraging AI tools to really fit into our workflows, if it's frustrating, if you have to be a prompt engineer, creatives are going to just divert back to however the best way to get to their goal is, the traditional method. And that goes against the whole idea of adopting the tool. So hopefully what you see in here are ways to relieve that pressure, relieve that stress, and harness AI tools with confidence. That's really what we're thinking about on taking briefs all the way to a build in record time. To kick this off, we're going to demo and build stuff together. But to just show you what's possible, we're going to start with a spec ad for an audio service. This was made by our in-house team. We've got a slew of creative strategists in-house. But it was made, what you're going to see, the spec ad was made in 2 days. The boards, previs, all of the editing done in about a day and a half, with another day there for like editing it down, adding audio and things like that. All can be done on the platform. So we're talking about weeks of work being done in days of work, with hopefully not reducing quality. So we'll start off with that and we'll play that. Again, drop questions in the chat. We'll get to it as we go. And yeah, and take it away. We'll do the demo and build some stuff that's fun after that.
Okay, hi everyone. You can see this. Okay, let me just put it on full screen. Hopefully you don't see me as big as I can see myself right now next to the video. But anyway, let me play the video. Here we go.
I can't hear sound.
No, 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 no. 1 second. It is sharing. Sharing.
Perfect.
Right, let's get started. Some places only exist once you begin listening. They change when you look at them too closely. They change even more when you try to touch them. Not everything here needs to be understood. Some things are just felt. And some are better met slowly. Imagination works like that. It opens when you follow it and closes when you stop asking. For now, it's enough to be here. Soundleaf, listen deeper.
Okay, so this ad was created in a day and a half. Basically, all the generation were created in a day and a half, and then all the editing and like sound design, all of that in another day and a half. I think that would probably take you in the traditional way. We were just saying like 2 weeks to storyboard this, and then obviously this kind of ad is kind of hard to produce by yourself. So this is just to show you what's possible. It was all done in LTX Studio, and we'll show you another one at the end of this. So for today, I kind of wanted to show you how you can quickly create an ad in like, we only have like for our Q&A about like 20 something minutes. So what we can do in that short amount of time inside the platform. So I already prepared a few elements, and I don't know for those of you who don't know what elements are. Elements is anything that you want to save and reuse in your image prompt. So think of like characters, objects, logos, fonts, style, or anything else, or color, anything that you can think of. So here what I saved is basically, I saved a few style elements. So I can show you what I did here. I just uploaded a bunch of elements in different styles. This is like a collage element. And what's going to happen is that all the images that I'm going to generate, I can then tag this style, and they will generate those assets with this style. I also created one element of a location. Just uploaded one image, but you can upload up to 10 images. So imagine if you have a character, you can upload like from different angles, same for products. And that way the AI knows what everything looks like from all the different angles. Okay, so I do have a product here as well. I created this headphone. I uploaded it from different angles. I have close-up shots and all of the above. And now I'm going to go to the gen space. So this is where I'm going to generate both images and videos and have everything here. I don't know if all of you are familiar with a canvas. This is in beta still, but this is like a mood board view that you can view. But I think today we'll focus mostly on the gen space, storyboard, and how we're going to edit everything. All right. So I'm going to start by calling my my element, the headphones one. So basically, I just click the at button, and then I can see all the elements that I created. And I'm gonna choose. I'm gonna write like headphones on the ground in field. This is the location shot from above. I can choose different image models, so we can just test a few models here, see what we're gonna get and which one works best for us. So I'm doing Flux 2 Pro and Nano Banana Pro. You can even try Nano Banana 2 if we wanted to see what we're gonna get. Obviously, you don't have to wait for things to load. You can generate more and like explore, and then once everything's ready, you'll see it here. All right. So the idea here is that once I have this image, I can, here we go. Oh, I actually kind of like this one. I'm gonna save, one of these are great. I'm gonna just, click the heart icon right here, and it's gonna go and save it to my favorites. Let's go back, and now let's create a few more of those. So here we go, 1 second. So now I'm going to actually use this image and I'm going to edit it. So we have this one. I'm going to click on use as reference, and let's remove the grass and change the headphone style to be made out of the collage one. Again, let's try a few versions. This is to show you what you can do with the different styles. I'll do the same thing. Let's do it with colors, which is like a Play-Doh kind of colors. And let's do one with origami. And let's do another one with wool. All right, so we're actually creating something, and think about it like if you are a brand or an agency or a studio or whatever, and you have your own style, aesthetics, or anything like that, you can save that as a style and actually create something that is very artistic or very on brand to your style. Okay, I like this one. I'm gonna save that one as I'm gonna like it. I also like this one. Let's do that. The origami one is good. Let's see if we get better results.
And as those load through, I'll just jump in. I think what's really interesting here too is, or now we're giving away the illusion that we're all in the same place. I think it's really cool how all this is being done concurrently. And that's going to obviously be the case when we're jumping back and forth between images to videos. This is designed to have like almost like a Swiss Army knife, multiple models, right? But not everything out there, so you're paralyzed by having too many like tools to play with. We're always really selective. Like you can see, like Nano Banana 2 is in here right now. So there's different speeds and efficiencies. Really thinking about the best tools to help you do this job. But everything can be running concurrently, right? Because we know that for this to be iterative and to really be like a streamlined creative workflow, we don't want you sitting around waiting. So hopefully, as you're noticing that, like just the speed with which Anne is going to move through this, and that's not because we're on a time crunch on the webinar, but rather like it's more realistic for how creatives operate and function.
Exactly. I'm actually gonna do another one now while we're waiting for this one. Let's do let's change the background to like a solid light gradient purple. And I'm going to save this one as the wool one. Now I think what we can do is actually create, let's have a person wear these wear the headphones. So I'm just gonna use my elements again. So I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm just gonna do, sorry about that. She's wearing the headphones. All right, so I'm tagging the headphones here. Let's save this one as another good image. And so a woman wearing headphones and a solid light purple gradient, and she's wearing a great t-shirt, and this is a wide shot. And let's do that. If I'll go now to my favorites, you can see that I already have all of these, and I can like start to think about the direction that I want to go. I want to create this video where the headphones are basically changing styles from and like from one shot to the other, and then show my character, you know, maybe walking with the headphones. So I can, let's go back and see if that's ready. Perfect. All right, let's take this shot. I kind of like that one, and I'm gonna add that. So now we can reset everything, and I can go to the storyboard. By the way, I can start script to storyboard if I had a script, but because I'm building it one shot at a time, I'm just gonna go and do blank storyboard. And I can add like a few shots here if I wanted and go back to the gen space. Now I have all these shots here and I can add more as needed. And let's start like, I'll go to the favorites and let's start with this. I think this would be my first shot. We can go then to, this can be my second. This can be the third, and so on and so on. Let's do that one. Fourth. Oops. Sorry. The fifth, and we need 2 more shots.
That was an interesting view you jumped into. Actually, there's stuff in here I haven't seen. So if you click on one of these, it tells you the model, the prompt, all of that is stored.
Yeah.
Cool.
You can see you can see exactly everything that you did, similar to what you can see when we exit the gem space. All right, let's add this, will be the last shot. All right, so if I go to storyboard now, you can see everything is here, but these are all still images. I want to add motion now. So let's go again to our favorites and let's start adding motion. So I'm going to start with our first shot here. Let's create video. I'm going to choose our own LTX2 model. I'll do the fast one. LTX 2.3, sorry. This our new version of LTX2, which was released last week. We are super excited about it, and we can't wait for you to try it if you haven't already.
The #1 ranked open source model in the world on
Oh yeah,
spatial analysis right now.
love that.
I like that.
Yes. You can have a start and end frame. We have motion presets here. I'm going to actually choose the dolly in option. We can choose, with LTX2, you can generate 20-second long clips. I don't need audio for this one. I can just select with or without audio. Let's get a couple of results here. We can choose the frame per seconds as well if we wanted. And let's just write a simple, oops, sorry, where did we go? Let's just write a simple prompt. So I'm just gonna, like, the headphones quickly start floating in the air, and we have dolly in. Let's generate that.
Now, dolly in is a camera preset out of, I
Right.
think, like a dozen of them that are in there. We really tried with LTX2. You'll notice a couple of things here, LTX 2.3. We really try to give it a cinematic feel for like when this thing was being trained up. So we can set up these presets that can produce some really good results, but you could also do 360s and try prompting with that as well. And the other thing you're going to notice immediately is that this was designed to be incredibly fast. I mean, we're on 2.3, but I think it's officially the third or fourth release that we've done with the model. And from the start, there were two really important things we decided to do with LTX as a video model. One is open source, relying on higher learning, education, and our community to continue to improve this and take that research and help us with that. And the other thing we decided is efficiency. In this kind of race of models continuing to improve native 4K, which we have now, continuing to get longer, durations, we also know that quality is eventually going to get very, very strong. And it's a lot harder to reverse engineer and make a high quality model super efficient. We decided to focus on that efficiency first and then continue to improve in that quality, which is really fun and leads to, like, again, thinking about creatives and being fast. We don't want to wait 5 minutes for a generation, right? You're seeing Anne iterate here really, really rapidly.
Yeah. Oh, oh my God, that's so cute. Let's take that one. I'm just replacing the still images that we have in our storyboard with the videos that we're generating as we go. I'm now going to go back here. We'll do the origami one. And I'm actually leaving the same, because I want to get the same camera movement for every shot. I'm leaving the dolly in but of course you can change it and explore different angles and all of that. And let's see what else we have here. We have we'll take the Play-Doh one now. Let's see what we got. Okay, I think this is better for our theme today, so we'll just take that one. I like the colors. We're keeping it purple. Now we're gonna go to the Play-Doh one, create video. I'm still using everything else, all the settings that I did for the first one, they are still the same. So I'm just like changing my prompt and changing the reference image, the first frame. So I'm gonna add like music notes that are gonna come out of the headphones. And generate those. Let's see. Of course, we can generate more if we're not happy or change the prompt. but I want to make sure that I have all my shots ready. So we're going to go now to the wool one. And let's create a video. I'm just going to add some pom-poms dropping out from everywhere, because why not, right? Let's see what we got here. Ooh, those are cool. I kind of want to see if I can get another version of it. So I can just click here and it's going to use the same settings. And I can just like generate maybe a couple more to see if I get better results.
Got a couple of music notes, but also like some like spaghetti looking
Yeah.
stuff that popped out, right? So
Right. Maybe I'll do like music notes like with dash in between. Maybe that would make it more precise. Okay, these don't look like pom-poms, but these do. So I'm gonna like that one. Let's just replace the shot with that. Let's see what we got here. Okay, that's much better. Let's take this one. We're not gonna use the entire shot anyway. We're just gonna use the, actually, you know what? Let's take this one. This is cool. What else did we get here? No, this one is my favorite. And lastly, yes, we want our character to also move. And you can see that, by the way, I don't know if I've mentioned it, but to get this, basically, I just created a shot of, I said like a woman is wearing headphones, right? But it looks really realistic. This is the elements that we had before from here. It just took that one, created a woman. Obviously, I could describe what the woman looks like and all the characteristics. And I can also create a character, an element of a person, and have that person wear those headphones.
yeah. So, someone asked a question in the chat earlier, like, do we consider elements ingredients? I mean, we consider them elements, but the way I often describe them is like brand guidelines in an instance like this. A specific product, color schemes, fonts, logos, all can be saved and recalled just like that. And it stays and like really adheres to it. Moreover, oftentimes we see our clients on the enterprise level, or if you think about media companies with expansive banners, they all have different, or a show, a movie, they're all going to have different elements, but they want to collaborate. They can create what we call brand kits, which are like branded elements that are shareable across a specific part of an organization. So everyone can have access to those elements to call them up. So that could be a character, that could be an object, it could be, a cup that's in a specific scene that you're working on. We're using headphones, and you're seeing like we're scratching the surface of what could be stored in a project's element.
All right, terrific. So I wanted her to walk to, actually, this is a better shot. So I'm just going to use this shot and she's going to exit the frame at the end of it. Perfect. Great. So if I'm going to go back to my storyboard, now I have all these videos. I can view them. I can like already start imagining. Obviously, I'll start this shot a little bit later once the mouse enters the frame and all of this. All right, it's time to edit everything together. So I'm going to go to the video editor and I can just import my storyboard here. So I have everything that I have in my storyboard are going to just be on the timeline. We can add music. So we have a music library. You can upload your own. I'm just going to use this track here. Hopefully you could hear it, and we can just start like quickly edit everything together. So. All right, I'm not even going to try to do it on the beat right now just because I don't want to make you uh have to sit and like see what I'm doing here. But basically this is like how I would edit, like quickly get a first draft of the, let's say until here more or less, and then we'll delete this. Well, we wanted to start this shot a little bit later, so let's start it from here. I'm gonna split this, delete that, delete the time here. And then maybe we just want to do like until here. Again, I would definitely edit it on the beat, but not today. Please forgive me. All right, let's start from here. I'm gonna delete.
I think that's my favorite one.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I like how it lands on the headphones.
Oh yeah, very cute. All right, let's do it until here more or less. And then that's very cool. I love that. And then let's add our friend here. And we can actually start it. Let's start it from where she's looking at the camera. All right. So I'll just play a little bit of it, and then I'll add narration, and I'll show you what we can add with AI narration. Awesome. All right, let's go to narration. We have voiceover. Basically, you have like a menu of voices that you can use as your base voice. So I'm gonna choose this one.
This moment sticks with you. Listen closely.
But I want to give it a little bit of tone and personality before I add the text. So let's just do like casual, friendly, professional. Hopefully I spelled it correctly. And then this is the text that I want to use for the narration. So whatever your style of music is, you're always in style with LTX. All right, let me generate that one. You can also give it emotion. So for example, I can put something in brackets and I can do like whisper or excited or happy or confident or angry or whatever you want. Let's generate both so you can hear. So this is the original one.
Whatever your style of music is, you are always in style with LTX. Whatever your style of music is, you are always in style with LTX.
Okay, kind of spooky. So let's just take the first one. I can just edit here. Let's move it to the end of our video, and maybe we can just lower the music a little bit, but let's see what we have.
Whatever your style of music is, you are always in style with LTX.
All right. Now, once I have this ready, and I'm happy with all of these shots, but actually, you know what? What happens if I'm not happy with the shot? I'm looking at this edit and I'm like, actually, I'm missing something. I need I need to replace a shot or to add a shot. I can just click this plus icon. It's gonna take me back to the gen space, and I can from here just add here, for example, let's just add this clip, or just generate something new. And then it's going to add it to the end of our timeline. I'm going to delete this because we don't really need it. Once we're ready, we can export everything as MP4, or we can even export everything as a package with all the assets that we have here, including audio, and basically have an XML file. So you can then open it in any other platform that accepts XML file, Premiere, DaVinci, After Effects, and then you'll have the same timeline on those platforms. You can take it to the next level even then.
Yeah, for color correction. I mean, I think someone in the comments was talking about how helpful this is to have it in the platform. Just again, we're thinking about, like scaling and streamlining the production pipeline here, but we also know that you're serious creatives, right? And this is maybe fine for me. I'm more of the iMovie type, so it's more rudimentary. But if you're serious, we know that you're going to use Premiere, DaVinci, those professional pieces. And I think we've had XML export in our platform from like almost, I think, day one. So we know you're not just going to bounce us out as an MP4 of your final edit here. So this is just a step on the creative journey, which kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier at the start of, we really take this serious as being a creative tool specifically for video production, as opposed to the be all end all.
And I think lastly, before we go to Q&A, we kind of wanted to show you another video that, I mean, this was all done in 20 minutes, as you can see. But if you do have longer than that, these are the kind of stuff that you also can do here in the platform. Same thing as the other video that we've shown before. A day and a half to create all the generations and the rough cut, and then another day and a half to do colors, sound design, final editing, and all of that. All All right, I'm gonna play it.
The shipping forecast issued by the Meteorological Office at 1400 hours.
Delivery. Thanks.
Nexus. Bring the extraordinary home. Safely.
All right.
Amazing. Everything you did was so cool. I'm personally still dancing to the song that was featured in the headphones commercial. We got a ton of questions. No, we can't answer them all now. For those that we can't get to, I will give everyone the Discord link and we can get your questions answered there. But for now, Leanne asked, previously the Gen Space also had the ability to change camera angles and perspectives. Those options aren't available any longer. Can you tell us why? But we do have the option to change camera angles and all those things. So, yeah, just wanted to start with that one.
Yeah, you can still edit camera angles. You can use the image reference option in the gen space and then just say change camera to shot from behind, to shot from above, close-up shots, all of the above. Yeah, it's just you just prompt it instead of using a preset.
And someone asked that question too about using like other AI tools for prompting. You can absolutely do that. Again, the Discord and also like our just social channels always have very good advice on like how to prompt and achieve things that you're seeing in these spec ads that we're making. But there's also prompt enhancing on the back end. So you can see that the whole time Anne is using very natural language as she was going through those examples. There is a bevy of stuff happening under the hood to make you be able to prompt with natural language. Again, I figure a webinar probably have some people of varying skill levels and some serious AI enthusiasts here, right? But again, we have to think about when we think intuitiveness and rolling this out across really large marketing teams, large creative teams. Sometimes the folks who want to get in there don't have all that AI experience. So there is a lot of prompt enhancing happening on the back end as well.
Absolutely. Alan asked, can audio be generated in different languages?
Yeah, definitely. You can generate in, I think, almost any language. We also, I didn't show you, but we also have audio to video feature within for LTX2. Basically, you can input any audio that you have and an image, and then generate the video and where the audio basically leads the movement.
As like the main prompt.
Yeah.
But if you upload an MP3 file of you speaking or your actor speaking in any language, that's a way around it. For voiceover, where we support like I think 30 languages now, but audio to video is really wild for like if you want to achieve voice consistency for that image reference, that character that's already saved as an element, it's an incredible way to achieve that really easily. Basically, we're using the audio to inform the prompt as opposed to anything you're texting. So that's like a secondary part of the prompt for camera movement and things like that, or emotion. But it's really neat if you haven't experimented with uploading an MP3. Another wild one I experimented, I grabbed like just like audio of someone playing the drums and put it into a jazz band, and the syncopation and rhythm of like a snare being hit or a cymbal crash matches the audio that I put into it off that, which is not how we intended to build it, I don't think, but it works. And that's really cool to experiment with.
Yeah, so then you can even like use your own, and also it's great for voice consistency, right? Because every time we're generating a character speaking, when we use native audio with the video model, it will generate it with a different voice. So this way you have more control. If you want to have multiple shots, like multiple scenes with the same voice, you just use that as the input as well.
We also Received a question from a Sikh that says, can we change models in between creating the videos with the generated images and use them in the storyboard?
I generated that with a bunch of image models. I was using only LTX2 fast video model just because it's the fastest one and I didn't want to waste your time waiting for generations. You can definitely switch between the models, generate with Nano Banana and then generate the video with Kling or with LTX2 or with Veo, whatever you want.
Amazing. And we also had another question from Zianis, and apologies if I mispronounced your name. The question reads, I remember back in the days, LTX had an actors concept. Does Elements have the same functionality on the next level? Can I refer to several elements in the same prompt?
Yes.
And there it goes on to ask questions about the model. We're not going to be answering model questions just yet. We want to make sure that you get the best information. And for right now, you can get any like model support in the Discord, and I'm going to drop that link. But as we talk through Studio, I definitely wanted to get that question answered. So I'll ask it one more time. Does Elements have the same functionality on the next level? Can I refer to several elements in the same prompt?
Yes, elements are improved version of actors, I would say. The consistency with elements is much better than what actors used to have. And also you can upload multiple images of your actors from different angles. So for example, if you do have images of the person from the left side, the right side, the back, the above, below, the front, you can upload all of those. That way it has more consistency. But even if you upload just one frontal image, that's good enough.
And if we think about the last spec ad for that streaming service that we just watched, that is the same actor, the same woman the whole way. There is an element version of her from different angles that was used for her at the start, but obviously as the story plays out, she has her hair all crazy, right? She's like looking a little dirty and frazzled after going through the whole experience. That version of her is then stored as an element for like later in the scene. So it's still her, but then using image references, we kind of transform her and store that as a repeatable element, as a character. So that's how you really saw that consistency in that 60-second ad just now.
David Rose asked, can you upload camera footage you shot and add in AI elements and existing footage?
You can use retake to upload your video and then regenerate only a certain part of the video with a prompt. Or you can use, I mean, it's not exactly the same, but you can use motion control with Kling that you can upload your video and use an image as your starting frame and make your image move the same way as the video. But adding like another layer on top of your video, not right now. I hope that answers the question.
Amazing. We also have one other question. Alexandra asked, when we tested LTX, we had issues with lip syncing the human beings. It worked with anything else, cartoon characters. Do you have any tips on how we can make it work better?
So I would, again, try the audio to video feature. I think you'll get really good results. Or just if, for example, with audio to video, you can say in the prompt, the character says in sync with the audio, and you can even type in what you want the character to say. Look, in general, I think for photorealistic videos, the human eye tends to be more critical when it's like it looks photorealistic than it does for illustration or cartoons or anything like that. That I think that's why maybe that's what you mean with like the lip sync. Sometimes you would need to move the audio, I will say, like a frame or two to make sure that the sync is 100%.
And I would
Yeah,
also
and
say, I
also
know we keep plugging. Sorry, go
no,
ahead, Josh.
I was gonna say you can also experiment with different models. I,
Right.
I think camera control is exceptional with LTX 2.3. Obviously, speed is like next level, cost efficiency with credits. Those are all part of the equation. But the reason Kling is in there, the reason VO is in there is there's just tools for different jobs. Some image models, some video models just get better results depending on like the action you're trying to do. So that's why we we're very strategic on like what gets integrated and put in. It's like ever evolving space. We update our models, other folks put theirs in. I'm sure we all know what other new models are around the corner in the news right now. I promise you, we have a very busy partnerships team, always talking to folks about what we're going to integrate next. And I've never worked on a product team that sprints at this speed, weeks, days to implement stuff. When something like, when a tool is useful and fits into the studio. So experiment with different ones. They're all there for like a purpose.
Absolutely. And I know I keep plugging the Discord, but I'm plugging it because it really is such an amazing resource. And I just dropped the link. We had someone recently who was talking about how LTX2, the model, has just helped them produce music videos faster. And they have people who look real, like super realistic, who are rapping along. One person in particular was trying to get the person to rap as quickly as the rap was recorded. And the lip sync that they were able to achieve was really amazing. And so I keep talking about the Discord, but it's really because there are so many people in there doing real work, helping one another out, dropping tips that really prove to be super effective. So like I mentioned, I dropped that Discord link. I'll be in the Discord, and so will a thousand other people. And you can go there whether you need help with the model or studio. And with that, Josh and Ann, it has been so cool having you on to do this webinar. I can't believe you just created an ad in what, 20 minutes? We haven't been on here 50 minutes yet. And so it's been really amazing. And thank you so much for joining us. Josh, if we wanted to get in touch with you, how would we be able to do that?
I guess I could drop my email in here. So much pressure to make sure I just spelled that right. Yes, that's my email. There's that.
Amazing.
I'm always on LinkedIn. We're doing stuff there, but email or that, always good. Or just come to the next webinar and ask us questions on that one. I'm sure we'll do it again.
I was going to say the exact same thing. If you want to get in contact with me, I am in the Discord, and I can also go ahead and drop my email address as well. And if I'm not the right person, I can get you connected with the right person. So anything else before we hop off, Ann and Josh? This was so cool.
Anything that you have? I mean, I think what's wild is and to think about, and it kind of goes back to that whole point earlier about the conversations I'm having with like the brands and the media companies is it's not this, it doesn't have to be this existential crisis. We can make it manageable. And also not everybody is using this for the final pixel. I mean, just the power this brings to previs before you shoot something the traditional way, that's not gonna go away. So the power to bring this, I talked about democratizing creativity, but the ability to democratize a trailer for a pilot, for someone who wants to tell a story and then pitch that and sell it and bring it to life with the traditional pipeline, is really cool to see. And that goes for storytelling. That goes obviously for prevising for people in the ad space. So I know we're looking at these final pixel use cases, but it really is enlightening to kind of have conversations with our brand partners and seeing where they're using it just to dramatically speed up pitch cycles and approval processes and these things that typically, would be annoying before you can get to the fun creative part of it.
Absolutely. And the final thing that I will leave everyone with, I just dropped the link to the LTX Studio blog. The website has so many different resources. We weren't able to get to all of the questions, but so many questions were how to, what's the best model for this, so forth and so on. And so definitely check out the blog, check out the LTX Studio Academy link that's listed under resources on the website. So many questions are answered there. And if they're not answered there, meet me in the Discord. So that is all I have. Thank you all for spending time with us today, and we look forward to seeing you at the next LTX Studio webinar. Bye.